Did I tell you about the silver refiners? Did a fundamental work. Silver refiners are so overwhelmed with incoming inventory, they have stopped accepting additional scrap metal. This suggests that at a fundamental level, current prices are pulling significant new supply into the market. At the 2011 silver peak, when I worked for a hedge fund, refiners were running 3 8-hour shifts a day and still did not need to turn suppliers away, whereas today, conditions imply an even greater supply response to these price levels. In other words, I was pointing out that the high price of silver today, on a real basis, is greater than the high price in 2011 because the refiners are turning away supply, which means to say there's such an overwhelming amount of supply.
And that work about the smelting, about how all the silver smelters are not accepting silver. Is that in the news? You're reading reports, or you're on the ground analysis? Where is you getting that?
We got it from 2 places. Okay, I sold my personal gold stockpile on Thursday, the day of the peak. Okay, so a friend of mine is the largest smelter in New York. I don't want to mention his name, but he's a legend in the business. Okay, so a lot of my information that comes from him, and a lot of information comes from just reading. Yep. And I just know that this is not a question. You talk to any smelter. Back in 2011, I was working for a hedge fund that had actually the largest position of gold and silver of any hedge fund in the world. They were second to Sprott's gold fund. Yep. And and I did a lot of research. And I remember speaking to refiners in Texas, telling me, "Oh, we're running 24 hours a day, 3-hour shifts, and this rally in silver will never end because there's a shortage." And I said to myself, if they're running 3-hour shifts, there's some supply coming, there's definitely no shortage. And it's just the opposite. People look at it. It depends how you look at things. Most people are saying, "Wow, the smelters can't smelt it. That must be a shortage because they're not able to come up with supply." But it's telling you there's underlying supply looking to smelt. See, it depends how you look at it. We shall see. So far, the market has spoken. The market so far told us it was a speculative fever into the peak.
And Milton, I'm sorry, I've been a giant nerd on silver, so I got to ask you a few questions. There's a record shortage of silver for the past 5 years, and basically above ground stockpiles have had to be depleted in order to meet this shortage. To me, there seems like an obvious deficit. But should I respect the technicals, and should I accept that silver is going to be in a bear market, even though I'm looking at and I'm seeing a shortage?
There's a lot of silver. Silver's been mined for millennium, just like gold has been mined. Now, of course, not all silver remains above ground like all gold remains above ground, but a lot of silver remains above ground in various ways, silverware, for example. And where I see it, people are nitpicking by saying there's a shortage of supply. The way I see it is, in speaking to refiners, there's a record supply. So I don't necessarily believe the fundamentals. I do know that back in 1980, when silver was peaking, you had the same kind of stories. There's a shortage of that. Mainly it was due to photography, they claimed. Yeah. But there's not enough gold. So I've heard these stories before. I'd rather stick with the technicals. And the technicals are telling you that we saw an important peak at the end of January, early February.
Thank you. Just close the door.